morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito Prayer of Heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamsumari masu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumeni oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no gimuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi harani. Misogi harai tamo. Toki ni narimaseru. Araido no o kami tachi, moro moro no maga koto tsumi kegare o. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao su koto no yoshi o. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya o yorozu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete. Kikoshi meseto kashikomi mumaosu. Miroku o mikami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oyanushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oyanushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kannagara tamachi hae mase. Kannagara tamachi hae mase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Through religion, if a religion is lacking in common sense, it cannot be one that will save all humanity. Teachings that give life to other teachings represent a true religion containing the great power of God, our Creator. Helped by God's power, let us break through the hard crust of false beliefs rooted in material things. To have true faith, one must be careful to use common sense in speech or actions. If a group expresses or exhibits extreme psychic, eccentric, or fanatical behavior, be on guard. When someone is inclined to be impressed by such zealous display, it is due to a lack of spiritual understanding. Genuine faith in God should reinforce the belief that the mission of a spiritual movement is humanity's salvation rather than the adherence to its dogma. It should guide one in service, not only to fellow group members, but to others as well. Genuine faith in God should reinforce the belief that the mission of a spiritual movement is humanity's salvation. The ultimate purpose of faith is to help each human being daily become closer to the perfect image and likenesses of God. While perfection on earth is perhaps beyond human reach, the desire to make a sincere effort towards its attainment certainly represents the right attitude and is a worthy spiritual aspiration. The deeper the faith, the more natural and unaffected a person is. At this point, an individual can be said to be truly living the teachings. One with true spiritual understanding speaks and acts sensibly, humbly, and sincerely, leaving an uplifting, warm impression with all they meet. The person is gracious and kind, finding true happiness in the happiness of others. These alone can unlock the door to God's blessing. Thank you very much for attending this morning service, where we had the opportunity to pray, not only for our families and friends, but also for our ancestors, to pray for all humanity, to pray for world peace, to pray for all those who are going still through so many sufferings of disease, poverty, and conflict. Thank you very much. And also, we are here always reminding you about paradise on earth that is coming soon. The day where Meishu-sama received this great revelation. So there will be a paradise on earth, a special service, this Sunday, June 5th, here at our headquarters. And you are all invited to be here. Or you can also attend it online. But we really want you to be here present on this day. Only when you yourself have learned to live happily through the spiritual teachings you believe in, you will be able to help those who are still suffering so they may become happy as you. Seeing your joys, your joy, your state of joy, they will begin to feel that the teachings you are trying to share must be truthful. So the most effective way to spread a spiritual teaching, to spread our movement, is to serve as successful example. Even I did not have the courage to recommend this spiritual path to others while I was still searching for happiness. Thanks to God's divine help and blessings, I did attain it. And I knew this beyond any doubt. I became the term to explain the teachings. This is Meishu-sama, Meishu-sama's teachings. And he continues, paradise on earth will be a world where truly happy people live together as one. This will indeed describe our earth when it becomes a paradise. So, June 15th, it is a most important date of our church. It was at dawn on the 15th of June, 1931, that Meishu-sama reached the top of Mount Nokogiri in Chiba Prefecture. He was accompanied by 28 followers facing the sun, which was beginning to rise. He then chanted the Amatsu-Norito prayer and received this great revelation about the transition from the age of night to the daylight age. It was through this revelation that God's divine will in relation to our church and our individual mission as members of Miroku Association, of our organization, that was when everything became clear. Beginning in 1931, little by little, the divine light began to shine ever more brilliantly in the spiritual realm because its reflection in the material world, construction of paradise on earth was initiated. And after the Hakone Sacred Grounds inauguration on June 15, 1953, that Meishu-sama began celebrating the birth of paradise on earth, which we will be celebrating this coming June. So we really ask you to participate on that service. We all members of Miroku Association, of our Johrei movement, we all experienced the power of Johrei, the power of service, the power of becoming someone useful to God, even when, especially when we go through hard difficulties. So that's why we always share those faith testimonies, experiences, so that you have some idea how people went through purification. We have this case of Monica. Monica, 28 years old. She was born into a Johrei family and started working when she was 17 years old, remaining in the same job to this day. She was always being very grateful for being employed and she really likes her job. However, in September 2020, she began to feel unmotivated and sad, realizing that she was stagnant professionally. She began to constantly complain. She spoke to her minister what was happening. She subsequently received guidance to dedicate herself as a family assistant in order to take more active care of others, become more useful. Since before she has only given service in the internal sectors at her Johrei center. So she was also guided to channel and receive Johrei on a daily basis, to offer daily donations of gratitude, to attend morning services, to read Meishu-sama's teachings, and to hold Johrei gatherings at her home. All those activities to be more useful. So weekly, she gave she gave like a small Sangetsu flower arrangements, those little flower arrangements to each co-worker in her department, with the goal that they too could have a transformation in their lives. By holding the Johrei gatherings at her home, she became able to assist her cousin until she became a Johrei member in April 2021. So Monica began complaining less and accepted situations more calmly. That's when she started to change, which positively influenced her professional environment. Another change. As a result of this change in consciousness and attitudes, she received a transfer offer to work at the company's headquarters in a new era that was emerging. Today, she feels very happy and fulfilled in her new world. In the face of everything that she has experienced, she learned that dedicating with love and gratitude, taking care of others, And serving God and Meishu-sama with sincerity and humility, we do not need to worry because the divine will inevitably will command our lives. That's why she's very thankful, expressing her gratitude. And she really wants to dedicate to create, help create prototypes of paradise on earth. See, simple faith experience that shows how much we can receive when we become useful and we begin to do services. Paradise on earth is coming. Let's prepare ourselves by channeling and receiving lots of joy. With this service, I'd like to thank you all very much. This brings to a conclusion this morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we wish you a very blessed day. Thank you.